another installment of the ETF.com video series here at Inside ETFs in Hollywood, Florida. With me today is Paul Baiocchi, Vice President of ETF and Investment Strategies at Fidelity. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks for having me, Drew. Nice to see you.
So you're about to give a TED Talk here. Give us a little flavor of what you're going to be talking about.
Well, I think the advice value chain is evolving, and more than ever before, clients are demanding additional services from advisors, but they're not willing to pay up for it. So when you get inside the data, you realize that advisors are reacting to that in a number of ways. One of the ways in which they're reacting to that is by lowering the embedded fees within their strategies, so shifting to lower cost ETFs. And then in addition to that, they're shifting more of their on-platform ETF activity to commission-free ETFs.
Now, how's that changed the relationship between the advisor, the issuer, etc.?
Well, I think it means that in order to deliver those additional services, advisors have to lean on third parties to provide some of those other advice value chain components, whether it's platform infrastructure, whether it's tools, whether it's resources, which means as an issuer, going into an office to talk about a one-off ETF is going to be less and less impactful. Whereas if that advisor perceives you to be a partner who provides additional services and the types of insights that help improve their productivity and improve their practice, that relationship is going to be much more sustainable and much more enduring.
Well, Fidelity is an issuer. So when you walk into an advisor, what are those specific services you think they may need? Is it asset allocation, portfolio construction? What exactly are the services an issuer can give an advisor?
Well, if you think about an advisor who custodies at Fidelity, they can now use e-money for the planning portion. They can use some combination of InvestNet and WealthScape for some of their advisory work. There's data aggregation services that allow them to do holistic planning. And then, of course, you also have the development of some native language software to streamline the account opening process. So that's if you're custodying. But for me, trying to help develop and support the distribution of our ETFs, what we've seen is that if you can go into an advisor's office with some insights around portfolio construction or practice management, or perhaps some of the insights from Fidelity's active managers or asset allocation folks, all of a sudden you're able to improve maybe even the approach with managing some of their client money and some of their asset allocation decisions. And then you get to a place where, oh, by the way, you have this dividend ETF that perhaps might be a suitable replacement for something Fidelity has on offer.
So is this in the line of ETF strategist kind of stuff for advisors? Or what's the separation between you pitching your book and actually being an ETF strategist? Some of the ETF issuers are actually putting together ETF portfolios like we've seen from some of the ETF strategists.
I think the lines are blurring a little bit. I think if you read the latest Morningstar managed portfolio reports, you'll see that it's not just Riverfront or CLS who are at the top of those rankings. You see big issuers at the top of those rankings now because they're delivering those model portfolio solutions either in a paper format or on InvestNet. So issuers are now being asked again to help allow advisors to be a little bit more productive in their business, meaning they're leaning on third parties for investment management, outsourcing it through a turnkey asset management platform, or looking to issuers to help them do some analytics around exposures within their portfolio, fixed income, allocations, and beyond. And I think you see that in terms of the interviews that you do on ETF.com on a regular basis as well.
You know, we work with a lot of ETF strategists, and is issuers going into that space a result of the fee compression? Is it a matter of looking for another revenue stream?
Well, I think the reality is that fee compression, 80% of ETF flows in 2017 went into ETFs with an expense ratio lower than 30 basis points, is real, and in some ways it's accelerating. So I do think that issuers are trying to find ways, especially issuers who offer those super cheap core products that may not be all that strong economically for their business, to bolt on services that they can charge for in order to help improve the economics of their ETF distribution strategy.
Does that tie an advisor to an issuer when they start having that relationship? And can that be a positive thing?
I think it's certainly a positive for the issuer. They become much more relevant to the entire business of an advisor, and it makes them sort of a go-to partner as opposed to just a provider. And I think that's the evolution of that advisor-issuer relationship that is changing right in front of us. And in a lot of ways, issuers are waking up to the fact that they need to offer more to those advisors beyond simply a tear sheet or a competitive side-by-side analysis of their ETF.
Let's go to your ETF lineup. Tell the audience a little bit about the Fidelity ETF audience in a quick way. How many ETFs do you have? What's your asset under management? And do you have any new products coming up?
We do. We just launched 2 products last week, FIDI and FIVA, so an international dividend product and an international value product that go along with the single factor products, 6 of which we launched in September of 2016.
Right.
And we've got the 11 sector ETFs, 8.4 basis points, really core, cheap building blocks for investors looking to help manage their exposures in the marketplace. And then we've got 3 actively managed fixed income ETFs. In all, we just passed the $10 billion threshold for assets under management, which was certainly a big day for us. And we're proud of the fact that we've been able to grow this ETF business organically by leveraging the various distribution channels where Fidelity operates. As many people know, there's a lot of businesses where Fidelity is competing, and it's about providing our clients and the various types of clients that we work with the types of tools that they're asking for, not telling them which tool they should use, but helping them to ensure that they get to that client outcome that they're looking for.
Paul, thanks for the time, and I hope the audience will check out ETF.com's video series from Inside ETFs. I'm Drew Voros, Editor-in-Chief of ETF.com, and thanks for watching.